Welcome to episode 8 of the Locker Box podcast, brought to you by Bench Connect. Mikes, it is Sunday evening. We've had a three-game week in Montreal Canadiens land. I don't even know how to feel right now. I mean, I'm feeling good, but I don't want to ride the roller coaster too much. I feel like we've all been riding the roller coaster a lot. But I'm feeling good. I got this for those watching on YouTube, I got my new stew. You know, I put together a little studio, so let me know in the comments.
Let us know what you think of the new stew here.
Yeah, Mike's, how we doing? How we feeling?
Well, it's pretty good, but before I tell you about how I'm doing, let me first tell you about our sponsor of this podcast. It is benchconnect.net. Listen up. If you want ice time, contracts, or roster spots, you've got to be in the right room. Bench Connect is where hockey people connect. Players show up, coaches post spots, agents make moves. No nonsense, no runaround. It's where opportunities are called. Go to benchconnect.net and get in the mix. You know what? They did have a promotion code for us, but that has ended. No more promotion code. But be sure to tune in the future. There'll be more promotion codes, and you'll be able to get on for free, a little free trial. But right now, it is live. Go to Bench Connect if you're looking for a hockey opportunity. Whites, I'm doing great, personally. If I'm looking at the Montreal Canadiens, as you know, depends the day. And you asked me last week how did I think they were going to do. I said 4-0. We didn't go 4-0. We did not go 4-0. But Whites, I'm doing good. The Habs are still in a playoff spot. I'm positive. It's pretty easy to be positive after you just saw what the Habs did last night. It was one of the biggest games. I mean, we might say that with every game coming up, but I mean, I know I said that Thursday, and arguably on Saturday last night, it was the biggest game of the season, and the boys came out strong on home ice, so I am excited. Whites, what about you? You got the new stew. What's going on with you?
New stew, living life. Few funny stories. Not funny stories, but some story I put on the outline here. Hat story. So you were wondering what's that about? I knew we were winning yesterday because of this story. I mean, where I live, not many Habs fans, not many hockey fans. I'm going to my local coffee shop Saturday morning.
That's
right?
That's a trip to the local area. Not a lot of hockey fans. Trip to the local area.
True. Probably more Islanders fans even than Montreal Canadiens fans.
Okay.
But I'm going to my local coffee shop. I got my Habs hat on, the one behind me, the all blue one. So I'm like, oh, it's game day. You know, I felt like it was NFL Sunday game day. You know, people wear their football hats here. And I walk in, to my left, there's a guy, you know, he's on his computer. Montreal Canadiens hat.
This guy's working.
I mean, he's having a coffee Saturday morning. Okay. I don't know if he was working. I don't know what he was checking out. I'm like, nice hat, man. He looks at me, he goes, no way. No way. He gets up. He's like so excited. I'm not even kidding. He's like, no way.
I believe you. And I just think it's funny that you didn't tell me this so you could tell it on the pod.
Yeah. He's like, no way. And like me and Avery together, and I'm like, yeah. Like,
did you hug? Did you high five? What did you guys do? You got up.
He kind of got up, but he was like, I can't.
Taller than you, shorter than you, handsome guy. How old was he?
Yeah, good guy. Probably like around our age, maybe a little older. And he's like, dude. He's like, do you have a Montreal Canadiens decal on your car? And I was like, no, I don't have that. He's like, I was here last week, and I saw a car with a Montreal Canadiens decal. Like, I was like, couldn't believe it, because it's like, I've lived here my whole life. I don't know any Habs fans. So, like, there's three of us, I guess now. There's three of us.
Yeah, there's the decal guy, there's the coffee shop guy, and then there's the podcast guy.
Yeah. So he was pumped, and then it's like one of those, like, I was like, big game tonight. He's like, yeah. He's like, wait, you're a Locker Box podcast guy.
What? Yeah. He did not say that. He did not say that.
But I was like, big game tonight. He's like, big game. And I'm like, yeah, we got a big game. So, I mean, the vibes were good, even where I am. There's Habs fans. So I knew right then we were winning. No, to be honest with you, I was actually so excited for the game, but I was also so nervous that I was going to be heartbroken, because if the Montreal Canadiens lost last night against the New York Islanders, they would have been out of a playoff spot. Right? They would have been out of a playoff spot. It would have been code red. Everyone would be having their SOS, whatever, save our souls.
Yeah, shooting the flares in the air.
Yeah, flares in the air. Season's over. It would have been the end of the world. But luckily, we got to avoid that for the time being. But yeah, anything else from you before we get right into the week that was?
No, Whites. I'm good to go. Let's get this kicked off because I have some stuff about Habs fans going forward, but I will wait until the segment 2 to talk about my Habs fans experience.
Okay. So Montreal Tuesday against Boston, hosting the Boston Bruins. A 3-2 victory for the Montreal Canadiens. I guess the takeaway from that game was Cole Caufield got his 40th goal of the season, the first time a Montreal Canadiens player has scored 40 goals in a season since 93-94 season where Vincent Damphousse was able to do that. So, tip your caps to Cole Caufield. Maybe he'll be one of our tip our caps. I don't know. In our tip our caps segment, we'll find out later. The overarching theme in this game was the defensive breakdowns peeked their head out again on the Bruins' second goal of the game. A little miscommunication. The Zizo nice goal by the Bruins, but nonetheless, a guy left alone on the zone entry. So that poked its head out again, but the Montreal Canadiens were able to fight back. And ultimately, a great play by Suzuki and Hudson to find Caufield. One of the easiest goals Caufield has scored this year, but probably the most important goal and the biggest milestone goal, Mike. So, I mean,
just a huge game, huge win. Obviously, rivalry. In division rival as well. And these 2 points. Well, right now we're tied with the Bruins. We do have a game in hand. I do know what that means these days. So just every game is a huge game. I think I said it. I think you said it. Everyone's going to say it. They're huge games. Another thing to note, Anderson scored in that game. He has not played since that game. So I think he's day-to-day with a lower body injury. Don't really know what happened on that play. So I feel like we're missing him, so hopefully he comes back pretty soon. But Cole Caufield, interview after the game, interviewer, not sure his name, but he goes, "What's after 40?" Cole Caufield said 41, which is right, but he forgot to mention 42 and 43. Whites, I don't want to jump my skis, but I had to say it because that was part of the Bruins game. But yeah, you want to get into the Detroit game?
Yeah, we can get into that. I just want to have one question for you. Did you see, as a defenseman, do you remember the goal I was referring to with the defensive breakdown, Zaka's second goal? The Kapanen, Hudson. So essentially Kapanen and Hudson both took one guy and left Zaka alone on the zone entry. I thought it was Kapanen's guy. I think Hudson as a defenseman probably needs to be the guy to sheriff and say, no, you take this guy, I'll get that guy. Hudson was getting some hate for it. Not really hate, but he was getting the blame for it. So I wanted to see your take, but it was a little bit ago, so you might not remember it. That's okay. I should have teed you up before.
Don't remember it. Yeah, I don't remember that one. But yeah, what I will say is that I didn't notice this until one of the analysts on TV said it. I guess maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm a fucking idiot. But it seems like the Habs are playing man on man D. Can we agree that that's what they're doing? I don't know if that's new this year. Have we always done this? We are Montreal Canadiens podcast. I should have teed you up before. But we can see that it causes a couple of defensive breakdowns because your communication and your awareness on the ice has to be 100% at all times. If you and another guy don't switch, you take the same guy, then a guy is going to be wide open. And we've seen those breakdowns. We've seen it happen versus Anaheim last weekend. And we saw it versus the Bruins. So I don't know. I'm a little iffy on this man-to-man, but I'm not the coach. I'm just a podcaster. Yeah. So
I played man-to-man in prep school.
Did you? Okay.
There's some good and bad to it. I would say when you get beat, and we're seeing it on the Canadiens, when you get beat or you lose your guy, you don't have that added support to for someone to back you up as easily. I mean, they should be still doing that, but it's not as easy as when you got the layers. So for example, Hudson against Anaheim lost his guy. He kind of tried to pick the play, and there's no added support because him and Guhle were in the same corner because their guys were both there. So you don't have that. And the center might have been on his guy. There's also mismatches, right? Sometimes a guy in the down low is on a one-on-one and it's a smaller guy. Like Hudson, we have some smaller D, Carrier, and let's say they're facing Tom Wilson, right? That's a mismatch. So, I agree. I'm just a podcaster and a Division III alumni hockey player.
As you can see from the news, Stu, if you're watching on YouTube.
But There's definitely is some, and I think the Hurricanes have played that, and there's been some gripe about their defensive game when it comes to the playoffs with that man-to-man style. So you got to play it right, and if you don't play it right and you're not perfect, it leads to opportunities against. One reason, though, Michael, is you might not remember the Bruins' goals because you've had quite the week, and that week included a trip to Detroit, Michigan, where you were able to watch and witness the Montreal Canadiens 3-1 loss to the Detroit Red Wings. Mike, how was that experience? The stadium, the rink? I guess you have some fan stories you want to give?
Well, it's an amazing stadium. I'm not sure which reporter, but one of the French reporters, they took a video of inside the stadium. It's one of the top stadiums in the NHL, obviously one of the newer ones. Just really beautiful inside. The amount of restaurants they got inside there, and they kind of did it in a way where you could kind of see the outside. It's kind of clear, kind of not, but really brings the light in. It's like a really nice building. So tip my cap to Little Caesars Arena. But what a great experience. As soon as I got there early enough for warm up. The amount of fans that are around the inside of the zone, around like the glass in warm-ups on the Montreal side, double than Detroit Red Wings side. Double, 100%. And it's harder to see the Habs fans in a Detroit Red Wings arena versus maybe a Buffalo Sabres, just because the red on red, it's kind of hard to tell from afar. But you look around and you look at somebody, you're seeing everywhere you look, there's Habs fans. Habs fans travel well. I'm tipping my caps to Habs fans. We're high-fiving. Not much to high-five about this game. You know, we thought we were going to have a lot more to high-five. It was a low-scoring game. Slafkovský got the goal on the power play. We could talk about the power play. It's kind of buzzing right now. And we high-five. Fans are traveling well for the Montreal Canadiens. A couple times they would go, "Let's go Red Wings," and then right after go Habs, go, and then "Let's go Red Wings, go Habs, go." That went on for a little bit, and there's a couple times where it was just "Go Habs, go." I'm sure if we would have been up winning near the end of the game, you would have heard a couple more oles.
You could have heard it in the second period if we're up, because sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty sure I did hear a couple oles, and I never like hearing that when it's too early. It gets bad juju for me. So. Habs fans, stop saying Ole too early. We can say it when we're up 7-3 versus the Islanders, and we know we're going to get it done. But ultimately, this game, huge game. I was excited for the game. I was nervous for the game. And we just couldn't really find offense. We really weren't generating chances. I think our only line that really generated anything was our first line. Aside from that, didn't really like anyone's game. We can talk about Matheson's turnover. During the game, White's texted me. He goes, "Hey, is the puck bobbling?"
Well, I texted you that in the second period. I was like, because the puck was, I'm going to pat myself on the shoulder here. The puck was bouncing all game. And I remember I texted you in the second period. I was like boots on the ground. This guy literally became an insider. You broke the Veleno that Veleno was playing.
Yeah, I broke that.
You broke that. So,
you would have known that if you did follow the Locker Box podcast on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter. So, I asked you, I'm like, does the ice look choppy? Does it look choppy? No answer, because you're in the game.
I'm watching White. Yeah. I'm watching the game. Yeah,
you're working. So I completely understand. But yeah, go ahead with the Matheson.
Yeah, no, White. You're just saying, you're like, is it bouncing up out there? And I'm looking around. I have noticed a little bit of bounces, but then I hyper focused on it, and I was like, holy fuck, yeah, it's bouncing everywhere. But I think what I did respond to was bouncing for both teams, or maybe that was after the Matheson play. But yeah, Matheson, you just have to, you got to take care of the puck. And I'll go back to my answer to you. I said it was bouncing for both teams, right? So it's not like, oh, it's just a random bounce. It was bouncing all night. You got to know that, Matheson. You just can't make that play. I thought Dobeš played okay. A lot of rebounds. I know we talked about that as well. A lot of grade A chances that he was giving up because of these rebounds. And I got to experience it firsthand. I know we talked about it last time with Pierce. Fowler is more of the calm goaltender, and then you got Dobeš, who is not level-headed, and White's you can see that when you're watching him in person. It was a guy would come through the crease, maybe fall on him a little bit, and the blocker would just start going. Like, it's like, relax. And then, like, anytime if he held the puck and he got a whistle and then somebody's stick went anywhere near him, it was the end of the day. It was like the end of the world. And I don't know. I don't like that. I guess you can say, oh, I want my goalie to care. I want him to be fired up. I don't know. Personally, I like when my goalie is just calm, cool, and collected, like Fowler. But we talked about that last week. And ultimately, we just didn't win the game because we weren't scoring, really. We're one of the higher scoring teams in the NHL, and we only got one that game. I'll tip my cap to John Gibson. He played a really good game. But yeah, that was a 3-1 loss, the big loss to Detroit. They beat us 2-1 in the season series. And at the end of the day, we need to win those games. And these last, I think, 12 games of the season, 13 games in the season, every game is going to be huge game whites. What did you think of the Detroit Red Wings game?
Yeah, a few takeaways. I thought we played well defensively. I thought it was one of our better defensive games in a while. So that was a positive. Obviously, at the end of the day, we made one more mistake than the other team did.
And that's all it takes.
And then the Red Wings did, and that's what it takes. Another thing that I want to take away is, like, our first line was buzzing. And we saw it obviously last night that was huge. They took over the game. We'll get into that. But it's just the rest of the lines when Slafkovsky's on that top line, then it does hurt the other line. You can't. And in saying that, you still can't make a change. You got to keep Slafkovský with that line. But more so in the future, like looking forward, like when Demidov has, if it's Hage, if it's Zarovsky, if it's somebody in a trade, if it's Newhook taking that step, if it's Kapanen taking that next step, when we have two full lines with Slafkovský on that top line and then a second line, like, watch out, right? Watch out. But so right now we're just going to have to live with it.
Yeah, and sometimes they're on, right? Sometimes they're on, and sometimes you're like, okay, we're good right now. But when they're off, it's literally only our first line, and we can't have that, especially in the playoffs, knock on wood. Hopefully we do make the playoffs. It's going to be a crazy race down the stretch. But we need all of our lines going. We need all of our depth. That's what makes us a top team in the NHL, is that we have that first line. We have Demidov on the second line. Then we have Texier, Evans, and Bolduc on our third line. And then we got our gritty fourth line there. That's what makes us good. But when the rest of the lineup goes dry, we can't have that first line do everything.
Yeah. Well, and then I know you mentioned it. We glimpsed over it, but I want to get into it. And again, as a defenseman, what do you think of the Matheson turnover? Do you just think it's bad luck? Do you think it's partially bad luck, but also a little carelessness on his end? What do you think?
Yeah, like, it's bad luck. You don't expect the puck to bounce like that, but if you're playing a game like that and the puck has been bouncing all night, you just got to take care of the puck. You got to take care of the puck in your end, especially you can't expose the puck like that. And it was just a bad turnover. You can't make that play. As simple as that. There's not much if you want to go into a little bit more, but you just can't do that. I'm putting my blame on Matheson. I don't care that the puck was bouncing. You cannot make that play, especially at the end of the season like this, when every point matters. Those are huge points that we gave away. We didn't even get 1 point, and it just can't happen once.
Yeah,
especially not to the Brincat.
Yeah, it's true. It's also be aware of who's on you, and then that leads into my point. The thing I didn't like about it was I feel like he just he turned and faced, which he does that obviously like as a defenseman. But when there's a guy that close on you, and like you said, the puck's been bouncing, I don't like how he kind of presented the puck. He showed the puck to DeBrincat instead of maybe like making a move or like using his feet to kind of get away, like an escape move, and then.
And he's a great skater.
It's easy to say now. Monday quarterbacking is great, especially when he's an NHL player, and I've never even stepped foot on an NHL rink other than the Bell Center for like a fun learn to skate. But so you could blame him all you want, but I do like to see a little bit more carefulness from him, especially at the time of the game where we were at. And he was all alone, right? He wasn't going D to D there. He was looking for a quick up. But that's in the past. I don't even think Habs fans are even thinking about that game anymore because, give me a last night, big, huge 7-3 bounce back against the New York Islanders, who I think we came into the game maybe tied in points with. We might have had a game in hand, something like that. Talking about kind of the second line stepping up, I do want to give credit where credit's due. our second line might have been quiet throughout the game, but Newhook scored a huge goal, tying it up at 2-2 towards the end of the second period. And then after that, we saw some on our first goal, the first line make something happen on the power play. But after that Newhook goal, it was we're just going to hand it off to our top line, right? We're going to hand it off to the first line. And what a game it was for them.
Whites, what a game it was. What a breakout game. If I was to take one negative from the game, I really wish Bolduc got that goal counted for. He got the monkey off the back, and he had to take that monkey and put it right back. Can we talk about that?
Like, it's 8-3 with what, 2 minutes left. We're really challenging, and there's no goal differential.
I was thinking of that, and I'm like, at the end of the day, what does it say if you don't challenge it, right? Like, does it say like, oh, I don't care? And we know who's behind the bench. We know it's Patrick Roy. He's I'd say a petty guy. I don't know if that's maybe that's wrong.
I don't know. We'll say he's a petty guy, but we'll also say he's a competitor.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
but
he's a competitor.
So it is what it is. They're not going to just give away the goal if it was clearly offside, which their video guys caught it. When that did happen, I was like, that's a little close. We'll see. But that's what it's for. Whether you like the offside reverse call or not, it is what it is. Bolduc doesn't get that goal. But at the end of the day, we had plenty of goals to go for us. Cole Caufield with 3, Slafkovský with 2, Newhook with 1, and Guhle with 1. Just absolutely just needed this game. We lost to the Islanders last game, Whites. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last time we played them, I believe we
blew a 2-0 lead, so...
And just massive game again. I think, Whites, you mentioned it earlier. If we lost this game, the Islanders would have been in the playoffs. We would have been out. Mm-hmm. And Habs fans would have been bickering online. Habs Twitter would have been going crazy.
Yes.
But now they were going crazy in a different way. You heard it here first on the Locker Box podcast. Cole Caufield is going to score 50 goals this year.
You're jumping your skis.
It right now. My ski. Oh my God. I was banging on my thing. My camera cover came down. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Do you want to give that a go again?
No, I'm going to keep it. It's natural. I'm going to keep it, White.
Okay.
Oh, God.
That top line, just to get into the stats of it a little bit. Slafkovský, 2 goals, 2 assists. Nick Suzuki, 4 assists. Cole Caufield, 3 goals, 2 assists. Another Hattie, like you said, 43 tucks on the season with 0 empty net goals. This line, and I tweeted it out last night, and I know we're not there yet, but I kind of just want to get into it. I tweeted out top 5 line in the NHL, right? Top 5 in the league. And I got a lot of love for that, but some people even were saying like top 5 was like insulting, like top 1. So I looked into it, but I kind of want to get your take on it. Where do you think, like by looking at other teams, what do you think? I'll give you right now. Colorado could have a say in that. It's a line of Nichushkin. Yeah, McKinnon, Natchez. There's a few. McDavid, Hyman, and Nuge is a line right now, but I don't think there's a line as.
Who's on Kucherov's line?
Kucherov it's Cirelli and Hagel.
Okay.
So it's also a good. Nothing.
Yeah.
But I just as a 3, right? There's a lot of duos there. As a threesome, you can argue, and I wouldn't, and no one was going to call you crazy except delusional fans of other teams that's not a top. That isn't argued to be a top line in the NHL.
How can you argue that? You got Suzuki with, I don't know, how many points is he at? I think he's at 85 total points right now in the season. Then you got Cole Caufield, 43 goals, second in the league. And then you got Juraj Slafkovský with 27 goals right now. It's a top line in the league. It's a top 2, and they're not number 2, Whites. I can't get enough of this line. They carry the team a lot, and that's what you need out of the first line. Everything you want out of a first line, this line will do. You got Juraj Slafkovský with the fresh haircut. He'll bang bodies. He'll finish. I just like they each have their own thing, right? They each complement each other. Cole Caufield, he's the sniper. Then you got Slafkovský, could also snipe, use his body, create plays, and then you just got the passer in Suzuki. But don't get me wrong, he's the mastermind because he could also snipe it. I think it was that goal versus, was it Ottawa where Demonov dropped? No, it wasn't Ottawa. It might have been Anaheim where Demonov dropped it to Suzuki guy comes in and just rips one past us style. Man, I just love this line. I'm getting excited thinking about this line, Whites. And when you talk about the line, I know this is a little off topic, but you got to talk about the power play, because basically this line is our number one power play, and our power play is clicking specifically at 25.4%. That's good enough for 4th in the NHL.
Hello, Stats Guy Mike.
Stats Guy Mike's, and I'll give you another stat. This one was all over Habs Twitter, but I'll say it again. Cole Caufield has 43 goals this year, none of which are empty netters, Whites. You cannot say that for, I don't know how many other
guys with 43 goals.
Yeah, no, 0. There's no other guys with 43 goals. McKinnon has 45, but he doesn't have 43.
He's got five. He's got 5 empty netters.
Well, that's Guy Whites. Stat Guy Whites. Do you have that ready to go?
I saw it a while ago on
Twitter.
Okay,
well, that's perfect. Yeah. Whites, 5 empty netters. So Cole Caufield has more goals than Nathan McKinnon with goalies in the net. You heard it here first on the Locker Box podcast. He is leading the league in goalie goals in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, another thing that was so impressive about their game, usually when you see, Caufield had a hat trick, Suzuki had 4 points, Slafkovský had 2 goals, 4 points. You're like, Hudson's in there too, right? Hudson, and this is not a knock on Hudson. It's more so just saying how dominant the 3 of them were together. Hudson had no points. In a 7-goal, the Habs scored 7 goals. Hudson and Demonov both went scoreless, and that's fine, right? That's fine. But it just shows
I did not know that, Whites.
Yeah, it just shows you how impressive that line was together. They were toying with the Islanders. It was like when you go out there with like the youth hockey team and show them around, and then at the end you play a little like game, and it's like takeaway or keep away, and it's like 7 little guys on 1 NHLer, and that's what it was. That's what it was last night. It was like the 3 of them on 5. But yeah, and there's one other guy, I'm not going to get into it yet, who I am happy with. I am very happy with. We talked about it on the podcast last week about the hate towards him, but I'm going to save that for the Tip My Cap segment, which we probably might be getting into any second, unless you got anything else on last night's game.
No, just hell of a night for our first line. Let's keep going. Let's get the haircuts going. I say Nick Suzuki, you buzz your head. I think Cole Caufield, you buzz your head. I think all of the boys, they buzz their head, and we march towards the playoffs.
We need playoffs. Actually, before we get into that Tip Your Cap segment.
Before we get into Tip Your Cap segment, let's make a promise to the Locker Box podcast
What's
fans.
That?
If the Montreal Canadiens make the playoffs, we need to go to a game. We need to go to a game.
I actually might be going to a game.
We might be going to a game.
Not in the playoffs, though.
No, but what I'm saying, like, if they make it to the playoffs,
we have to go to a game.
What I think we have to. I think we take maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about this after. But I was just thinking about Habs in the playoffs, and I'm saying, how can we not? We literally are a podcast. We have to go to the Bell Center. It's work. It's playoffs in Montreal. We cannot miss this. We have to be there. We have a podcast.
Or we go on the
road.
Have
our hats. Whites, I need to experience the Bell Center playoffs again. I need it. I need it, Whites. I'm getting excited. We have to go.
But hey, don't get too high. Don't get too low. The boys aren't in the playoffs. We're in a race. We're in a race. We'll talk about that a little bit more on our fan questions. Thank you to our fans who did put in some questions, some comments. We'll get into that. Don't you worry. But before that, everybody's favorite segment, everybody's favorite time of the podcast. Cue the music, producer. It is time for Tip Your Cap segment. I'm going to start us off here. Cam's pick. Mike's, I don't even see your pick on the outline, so you might have the same guy as me. My guy is Kaiden Guhle. Kaiden Guhle had a hell of a week. He had a hell of a game last night. We were talking last week on the podcast. People are saying Guhle's got to go. Is it time to have a discussion about Guhle? I'm gonna pat myself on the back again. I said no. Let's slow our roll here. Kaiden Guhle is one hell of a defenseman. He came into the season, played a few games, got hurt. He hasn't been able to find his stride. Don't you worry, he'll find it. And look what happened. This week was the best. One of the best weeks I've seen him play as a Montreal Canadian, defending, chipping in offensively, joining the rush, being a teammate, right? Being a hell of a teammate to his captain. Kaiden Guhle, even last night, like his first shift, he leveled Duclair. And when he's hitting guys, I even sent out a tweet. When Kaiden Guhle is hitting guys, and I think as I was tweeting it, the Gary Galley might have said it, or John Bartlett, somebody on Sportsnet, said when he's hitting guys and he's physical, he's at his best, and he was at his best last night. Hitting guys, He scored a goal. I think it might have been the winner. He ended up scoring the winning goal. And another thing, and this is really why I want to tip my cap, towards the end of the game, Matt Barzal wanted to be a goon, go after Nick Suzuki. And I understand Matt Barzal is not an enforcer, so it's like Suzuki could have held his own. But what do you see at the end of that clip of Barzal trying to drop the gloves? Caden Guhle comes to the defense of his captain. You're not going to mess with my captain. I don't care who you are. He would have done it to Tom Wilson. He would have done it to Tyler Ennis. He would have done it to anybody.
Did he tell you that?
He told me that he would have done it to anybody.
You heard it. You're not hearing this anywhere else besides the Locker Box podcast.
You heard it here first.
White
he would have done it to anybody.
Caden Guhle and said if that was Tom Wilson, he would have still done that.
But regardless, he stood up for his teammate because that's what he does. They have each other's backs. Even at this time of the season when things get stressful, when we don't know if we're going to be in the playoffs, Caden Guhle says, one thing I do know is I'm going to have my captain's back, right? So that is my tip, my cap for today. I am tipping my cap to Caden Guhle. Thank you for coming back and being the player that we know you can be.
Well, I'll tip my cap to Caden Guhle just to figure. He's not my guy in my tip my cap moment, but yeah, I agree. We need Caden Guhle to be the defenseman he was before all these injuries, and he's getting injured every year. Knock on wood. I hope he stays healthy. But we're starting to see the Caden Guhle that we know and love come back. And if we want to make any run in these playoffs, I know I'm saying playoffs a lot. We need Caden Guhle to be at his best, and hell of a game on Saturday. But my tip, your cap, Whites. I don't know if I can.
You can go back.
If I could pick the whole line, I would pick the whole line.
Pick the whole line. No, pick the whole line.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna stick with Cole Caufield. Whites. When there's so much pressure to play in Montreal, as we all know there is, and you're at 39 goals, and everyone knows that Montreal hasn't had a 40 goal scorer since 19. It wasn't 93. I know you might have said it.
Yeah.
It was 93.
Damphousse.
You could be gripping your stick a little bit tighter because it's just one goal, but it's really hard to get that one goal. And Cole Caufield, he gets that one goal. Shout out to Lane Hudson for that setup. And White, and after that, it's easy to get comfortable. I hit 40. I did it. The Habs fans love me. This is amazing. But what does he do? He goes out and gets 3 more fucking goals for the Montreal Canadiens. Put him in. He was already in second place, but now he's at 43. McKinnon, I think he's at 45 still. Whites, do we have a 50 goal scorer on our hands right now? I don't know. I'm not going to say it, but I really hope he keeps going. And I'm tipping my cap to Cole Caufield because, man, Cole Caufield, what he does on that power play. Could we call it his spot? Is the goal line his spot? It used to be heater spot. But it is Cole Caufield's spot now. I'm saying it right now in the Locker Box podcast. It's no longer Danley Heatley's spot. It is Cole Caufield's spot. He just his feet are on the goal line. He puts a top titty where your mama keeps the cookie jars, and he looks at the Bell Center crowds. And if you could see me on YouTube right now, don't show your kids this, but he gives me a little one of these. He does. We might need to X that out, but he did that. I'm not making that up. He did do that to the Bell Center crowd. He did do that.
That's his selling. I don't know what it means.
My girl was sitting next to me. I had to cover her eyes. My girl, as in Nova, my niece. I had to cover her eyes. I said, "Don't look at Cole Caufield." It was a dog, but you're too young to look at that. But I am tipping my cap to the 43 goal scorer, Cole Caufield, and we got 13 games remaining. And I hope there's a couple more left in there.
Tip your cap. Great segment, Mike. You get me fired up. You make me laugh. I hope he makes our fans back home laugh as well. That's what we try to bring to this: some knowledge, some understanding, but also some good times, some locker room talk. On to the next segment. We asked our fans, "Hey guys, we love you. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Ask us some questions, whether you think we know the answers or not." So we went through thousands and hundreds of inquiries, and we brought it down to a few. So if you're not on this one,
hell of a word.
Thank you.
Couple inquiries. How are you?
Okay, so if you're not on this one, keep it. When we do these again, keep trying. Right? Strive for greatness. Strive to be better. Strive to add your question on here. We talked about parity in the East, but can we talk about the disparity in the East versus the West? This is just a comment from a fan, or what they want us to talk about a little bit is the Montreal Canadiens in the Pacific Division would be in first place in the Pacific Division with 86 points. The Anaheim Ducks have 80 points. So they'd be 6 points up in the Pacific. Mike, Do you think it's a good thing, though, that the Canadiens are in the Atlantic in such a tough conference and division? If they do make the playoffs, does that gear them up maybe a little bit better towards the playoffs rather than kind of coasting in the pillow fight that Connor McDavid called the Pacific Division?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know the science behind it. Everyone's playing each other, but obviously you play your division a little bit more. So, yeah, you could say it may help the Canadiens in the long run. I don't know if it'll help them move forward just because the people who are playing are so much better.
Yeah.
So it might be harder to move forward. But
That's true.
At the end of the day, iron sharpens iron. And I think these tough games are just going to only improve the Canadiens. These tough losses down the stretch here, these are all playoff games. So yes, I think it'll help us develop. I think it'll help our young guys play in these meaningful games. The players who haven't got that playoff experience yet. But I wouldn't mind playing. I know we talked about it last week. Who would you rather play, the Lightning or Buffalo? I don't want to play anybody. Everyone's so good. Whereas I wouldn't mind playing a couple of teams in the Pacific.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
What about you?
Honestly, I was thinking like, yeah, it's better to be in the Atlantic because it just gets you prepared for the playoffs a little bit more. But it would be pretty nice to have a first round matchup playing a team that's in the Pacific other than the Oilers. They still scare me. And even if it's not the Pacific, it's the other division isn't as strong, right? It's not as strong. So I agree with you. Maybe it's not better. It's maybe good for the Canadiens long run, just like learning how to win and learning how to be in these battles like they were in last year and they're in again. But I take the Pacific. That moves us on to our next conversation, which is still about playoffs, still about seeding. What do you think of this playoff seeding? I know there's been a lot of talk about it for the last few years, and Gary Bettman says it's a nothing burger, right? He likes the first round matchup, and the first round is where the NHL makes most of their money in the playoffs. But if the Canadiens were playing right, if it was a 1-8 thing like it's been in the past, the Canadiens would be 5th in the East. They'd be playing the 4th seed Pittsburgh Penguins. Right now, there's no way the Montreal Canadiens play the Pittsburgh Penguins. I would much rather a Pittsburgh Penguins matchup than the Tampa Bay Lightning, than the Buffalo Sabres, than anyone in the Atlantic Division. And honestly, I'd rather play the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders than the Columbus Blue Jackets, right? So what do you think of the playoff formatting? Do you think they need to go back to the old ways, or is that a nothing burger itself?
Well, it's tough. For me, I just play the cards I'm dealt. I play the cards I'm dealt. I'm not the guy to say, oh, I wish it was this, I wish I was that. I see what it is. This is what it is, and we just got to do and take care of business. I see it as the way. If we're not playing, we're gonna have to beat that team, or we're gonna have to have big playoff matchups anyways. Let's get it out of the way in the first round. But I could also see the people who say the 1-8 is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. That
way you don't get screwed over for having such a nice season. You got to play this team who's way sicker than that team. So I could see it both ways. I don't know. Is there a reason? Like what you said? It's because it's just better rivalries. He wants the rivalries.
Yeah.
And you kind of see that it has created some rivalries. You kind of see the Leafs or the Battle of Florida. I guess that would have been a rivalry anyways.
But wouldn't you rather those teams play each other towards the end than in the first round? Because we're getting some nothing. We're getting our Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals are nothing. I also want to pull back on what I said before. I realized when I said the Central is not as strong, the Central is a wagon, and that's kind of why
I just looked at the Central.
Yeah, that's why this is
102.97.
Yeah, I misspoke, but that's also why this is a conversation because after 2 rounds, only one of those teams can be left, right? Minnesota.
That's a good point.
Minnesota was at Dallas and Colorado in the reversing order. 2 of those teams are going to play each other in the first round, and then the next round is going to be the winner of one of them against probably Colorado. And then there's only going to be one left. So that's why I'm all for the 1-8. It would be good for the Canadiens too, right? Right now they'd be playing the Penguins if they got in. Obviously, a lot of things are going to change from then. But I don't think it matters as much for the Canadiens as it matters as much for the Central Division.
Yeah, well, it's good breakdown there. Let's move on to our next question because
okay.
I don't know. I agree with you. I would much rather 1-8. If the only reason why it's currently set up the way it is because to make exciting first round matchups, and he wants these division rivalries. Get out of here! It just screws over these teams, and you want those big teams playing each other in the later round.
Yep. Okay. we talked about this last week again too. Has your thought changed? Who's your ideal, realistic playoff matchup for the Montreal Canadiens right now?
What?
Nobody.
There's nobody. But who's our possibilities right now? I'm looking at the playoff picture
Tampa.
right now. If it ended right now, it'd be Tampa Bay.
It looks like it's going to be Tampa or Buffalo or Carolina, I'm guessing.
Buffalo, Tampa, or Carolina. Like, I don't love playing Carolina. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a playoff.
I'm taking Tampa. I'm still taking Tampa. While you think about yours, I'm still taking Tampa.
Yeah, talk about Tampa. Go ahead. Why are you taking Tampa?
I mean, I said this last week. They're banged up. I think yesterday a few guys left. I think Point left for a little bit. Sorelli left for a little bit. Maybe it was Hagel, not Point. Their back end's been banged up. Hedman's been banged up. They have the experience, but I think their times in the past, and not even that. Like, I still don't want to play them. Their time it isn't necessarily in the past. Like, they could very well go on a run here, but the Buffalo Sabres mojo is a little too much for me right now. I think the Hurricanes, they've been to the conference finals the last few years. They're not going to have to go through Florida this year, who's been their arch nemesis. So I think it could be more so their year too this year. So I want to stay away from those two teams. Don't give me Tampa, but I guess give me Tampa.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna continue what I said last week, which is completely opposite of what you're saying. I don't like Tampa. I do not want to play them. I don't think we match up well against them. They're experienced. They have Kucherov, who we can talk about what he's doing right now. Arguably, you could say top 2 player in the world. You could say 3. That. You top 3, and he's not 3. You could easily say that.
I think he's 3.
He might be 3, but the way he's playing, I don't know. There's a conversation to be had there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Gensel there. You got a Stanley Cup winning goaltender back there. I don't know. I don't like that team. I don't want Tampa. Do not give me Tampa. Like you said, Carolina, they'd scare me. They've been struggling the last couple of years, but I think what that does is just prepare you for your time. So don't give me Carolina, and I'm going to go back to what I said last week. Give me the Buffalo Sabres. Okay. I just don't and I'll tip my cap to them. They are absolutely on a tear, and don't give me them right now in a regular season game. But they don't have that playoff experience, and I think in playoffs, we have an extra year of experience on them, and I think that'll pay off if we did face off versus the Buffalo Sabres in round 1. And I think our fans would travel well to those games, so there would be no away games. And I think they would probably
Mr. Listener is not going to like that.
Mr. Bill from Buffalo will definitely not like that one.
I know a Bill from Buffalo.
You know a Bill from Buffalo. He's smacking his wheel right now. But I'm sure if that were the case, if we were to play Buffalo in the first round, they would do something where they wouldn't sell tickets to like people with Quebec addresses or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
but that's okay for us.
That's okay. Yeah. I would literally go. I would go to each game.
That'd be good for you. Okay, so we'll do a little quick. We're going a little long here, but is this guy gonna hit this? Is Cole Caufield gonna score 50 goals? I know you said you didn't want to say it. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to mush him. So we've been the mush masters. So we're just going to say, Cole Caufield, do your thing. It's not 50, it's 44. Are you going to get 44 goals, right?
Right. You got it, Whites.
Okay.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, Suzuki.
Give me next question.
Suzuki giving 100 points? Getting 100 points?
He's at 85 right now,
85
correct?
With 13 left. I mean, he's on pace, I think.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know what the pace is. Maybe he is. Is he going to get 100 points?
He's on pace for 101.
Okay. Give me 100 points. Yeah, give me 100 points. That would be huge if Suzuki hit 100 points.
Is Slav hitting 30? I think you told me he's at 27. Yes, Slav's getting 30. Slav's figuring out the bumper spot too. Yeah, he's figuring out the soft spot.
Yeah, even the goal versus the Islanders, it wasn't even on the power play, but Caufield hit him in the bumper spot. Yeah. It wasn't even on power play. I think it was the 6th goal or something like that, and it was just okay. Okay, boys.
We talked about this too, but one listener, I guess, really wants Jack-Eye in. Do you want Jack-Eye in over Struble? Do you want to keep it the same way? I will take this away a little bit, and I did mention it last game in the second period. We had no momentum going, and I said the Montreal Canadiens need to find a way to change the momentum of this game. I mean, they found a way to change the momentum of this game, but don't you think having Jack-Eye, like I said, I've never been the big guy to like put him in. We need him in, but sometimes he's gonna go do something reckless. Might hurt us a little bit more, but it's gonna change the pace of the game. So I'm not against him being in. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I'm not against him being in. I do see what he brings to the lineup, but I secretly like Struble might be my cap 1B.
Okay.
Like I really like Struble's game. I like him on right now. He's playing with Hudson.
Yeah, they play well together.
So yeah, like you're talking Jack Eye. You want Jack Eye playing with Hudson Whites? You think of that? I'd rather Struble with Hudson. There. So I'm keeping Struble. I actually really like Struble's game. So Struble's my guy there. And that guy is tough. He is not. Yeah, he's not soft at all. We talked about it last week. He fought that guy versus the Bruins. Yeah, keep Struble on there.
Okay. And then our last question was from a listener. He asked us when we became Habs fans. We were born Habs fans. I think out of the womb, I had a Montreal Canadiens hat on.
Yeah.
I don't remember a time I wasn't.
The exact day, I'll tell you. It was January 22nd, 1999, 9:30 a.m. I was born, and I was born as a Montreal Canadiens fan. And I bled a little bit. I bled
red.
Bleu, blanc, et rouge.
Okay. I like that on your mic. Mike's, that wraps it up. That was a great way to end. Big week coming up next week for the Montreal Canadiens.
Huge week, and we'll continue to say that. Every game's a big game.
Yeah, I mean, we could be having a conversation next week completely different that we are out of the playoffs, right? Play Tuesday against the Hurricanes, Thursday against the Blue Jackets, Saturday against the Preds, and then it's Sunday. So we play 4 games Saturday on the weekend of back-to-back against the Hurricanes again at 5 p.m. start time, so a little bit earlier for you folks. 2 at home, 2 on the road. Mike's, we will talk again next week. Great seeing you. Great hearing from you. Ockerbox Podcast fam. Follow, like, subscribe, do everything on the socials. Mike's, any last words?
That's it. Go Habs, go.
Go Habs, go.